And action. Today's episode sponsored by Tap Out.
Again.
You want your night to be lit? Tap into a Tap Out. And I'll be getting with you soon about that. If you know who the Tap Out man is, tap in with him. We'll leave it at that. So hey, Marty, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm interested to have this conversation today. There's a lot going on.
I am also interested.
I want to get right into it.
How do you fry chicken?
How do I fry chicken is not what the topic is about today.
How is it? How would you do it if you had to fry a chicken? How would you do it?
I would clean the chicken. I would take my flour. I will make my batter, if that's what you want to call it. I never know what you called it.
Okay.
My mix with, seasoned salt or whatever I like in there.
But what do you like?
You got some people that put an egg. I don't really subscribe to that.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I don't really subscribe to that. I'm not the greatest of cooks. Why are you trying to put me on the spot?
Before we started, you said you could fry chicken. So
I can fry chicken.
I want to hear how you do it.
I can fry chicken well enough. So leave well enough alone. Now back to what we were talking about. Playboy Max.
Plaque Boy Max.
No disrespect. Plaque Boy Max. We're going to get right into it.
You're elderly, man.
Yeah, I'm elderly. So again, I know that with all due respect, sometimes some streamers can be a little, how can I say, tender about.
It's really bad timing.
For
that.
No.
Calling them
Plaque
tender.
Boy Max. I wanted to talk about his situation because it's near and dear, actually. On one side of the fence with what happened with him and the guy OJ. Now, I don't watch Streamers University. I'm not going to sit here and cap you down. That's why I didn't say his name correctly. I've been following Plaque Boy Max for the past couple years, though. I like that joint he got with Lil Yachty. I really like that song. But then when we come back
I didn't even know they had a song.
Oh, man, he got some heat with Lil Yachty.
I don't watch streamers either. I don't. But
I don't really watch streamers. I watch what comes on social media. Yeah. I see I see regular. I see certain interviews that they do with certain people. I seen the thing that happened with Plaque Boy Max and Lil TJ and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was a little crazy to me. But I got feelings about that. But what happened with him and the guy OJ? I got specific feelings about that because OJ is a Jamaican man. And so am I. And so are you. And so are our family members.
Yeah.
And what happened actually looked real familiar.
Yeah. What OJ did was what we do.
So I want you to elaborate on it. What you mean that's what we do?
Well, OJ, unsolicited, went up to Plaque Boy Max and he did a character. I don't believe he meant any harm at first. He did a character of every Jamaican uncle, aunt, grandparent, parent. He went up to him and,
tried to correct him.
On the he has the diva tattoo and he's been a little bit more flamboyant and embrace.
Let's draw that out. So what he's been doing is stuff like saying that men, for those who don't know, men should be able to twerk. There's nothing wrong with being gay, things of this nature, stuff like that. He's been saying stuff like that through his podcast. He actually
his stream.
Through his stream. He dyed his hair blonde, I believe, at one point. Or I know he had his hair straight at one point. Right?
Could have been a wig.
Could have been a wig, but he debuted a whole, person.
He's having fun.
And this is what led to, and then he's in a room with a young man who.
Yeah, Wardrobe,
who identifies as what he identifies as. You know what I mean? I don't know the right things to say.
It's not a gender, it's a sexuality. Wardrobe is a very proud gay man. Well, is he 18 yet? Gay person. Don't want to throw adultness on him yet.
Yeah.
But he's very much that, and they've been made roommates at Streamer University, and Black Boy Max has been incredibly kind and accommodating and all that nice stuff, and they've become friends, and everybody loves it. Everybody loves it, but no one looks at that with common sense and thinks that Black Boy Max himself is gay. He's never said he was gay.
He's just been an advocate for it.
Yeah, and he's
lately.
been comfortable and flamboyant.
Yeah.
Now, in the black community as it is, it's already a challenge for someone to be comfortable in their own skin. But in the Jamaican community, it's even worse.
Oh man.
And OJ came in and he played his character, but Black Boy didn't receive it well. The problem that OJ, the problem that OJ had was he didn't stop talking. He kept just going.
What kind of things were you saying? I can't really.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I just remember him walking up to him and he was like, "You not a diva, nigga.
Yeah.
Ain't no diva." He honestly, this is what I saw. And then you can add on or correct me. I saw him speak life in a way, and I saw him try to tear down the any homosexual ideology that Black Boy Max had for itself. You know what I'm saying? I seen him try to like tear it down while also speaking life into him. And that's the Jamaican way.
How did he speak life?
When he was saying like, he said something to the effect of like, well, maybe I caught the tail end of it. Because again, I only seen bits and pieces because I don't really know what's going on. But, you know, you sent me the TikTok and then I saw something on the gram and I saw Black Boy Max crying about it and things of that nature. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What happened? And I really started, you know, and we had a conversation about it loosely. But the speaking life part is, well, this is where the Jamaican in me comes in. He was like, he was trying to say, nigga, you him. And you're really him. I saw him say something like that in there. It was buried in between what he said. He said, all of this other shit that you projecting, that's not true. Like,
Prince was him and he was a diva.
I agree.
So you can't, that's the thing, mind your business.
I agree.
You can't tell somebody, no, you're really him. But what you're doing is making you more money and giving you more connections. But no, that's not what you should do. But you're him. So what do you want me to be?
I agree.
What do you want me to be? That's what's worked. He got his diva tattoo. He's been more open and flexible, and everybody likes it. People don't like, the thing about manliness these days, it doesn't sell. It doesn't sell because
Why is that?
men are ugly. Nobody wants, think about it. You just saying, nobody wants man stuff. It doesn't make millions of dollars.
I'll say this. This is
The richest men on the planet have always been the most flamboyant.
I'll say this, right? This is what I'll say
Yeah.
in regards to what you're saying. Tap outs.
They're fruity, but they're strong.
When I started tap outs,
See what I did?
yeah, good branding.
Yeah.
And I see what you're saying. Fruity but strong.
Yes.
That was great. So when I started the tap outs, it was 2013. I just posted it like, hey man, what if I sold these? And people was like, yeah, and they pulled up and it turned to it was a classic. It was a local phenomenon. And my main customer base were women and the LGBTQ plus community.
The plus.
You know what up. That was my main base though. Everybody that was coming to see me were women and people that were of that community. I'm talking about the majority that came to see me.
This is a problem with hip hop. A DJ told me one time,
Yeah.
the most money you're gonna make as a DJ is in a gay club. Listen, we have to understand how strong a dollar is in different communities. We don't respect a dollar. You know what I'm saying? We just think because somebody hand me a dollar, it's gonna keep coming. No, like you have to look for pockets and places. So to say what I was trying to say is, we shot our own self in the foot for years.
Yeah.
Because
Trying to get rid of a
I ain't
community.
doing business with them.
Look at the NOLA bounce scene.
Oh my God.
Look
Bounce
at-
it, biggity, bounce it, biggity, bounce it, biggity, bounce it.
It's
Big
absolutely
Frida.
amazing. Their music is great, and whether you're gay, straight, or a woman, or whatever, Everybody listens to it. Everybody listens to Nola Brown. And, you know, it's a man talking about lick 'em, suck 'em, flip 'em, duck 'em in one song. But it's,
But it just goes like this.
it's beautiful. It's like butter.
Um,
So the whole, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I thoroughly believe that. So when I started Tap Outs and I had that clientele, my clientele were women and LGBTQ, and when I had that clientele, I leaned into it. I went and I made drinks for Pride. I made this, I did that. Am I thoroughly? So I'm not a part of the community, but I do.
That's good to know.
But I do know and understand that they're a part of my community. So with that being said, I don't exclude nobody, bro. I love everybody for them, and I meet everybody where they're at. And with that being said, with Black Boy Max, I'm not gonna say I wasn't a fan, but I saw him loosely. I listened to him. I like some of the joints he produced and been on. I like how he come up with shit on the spot. I like how he does what he does. I like how he is, except for calling Jersey the J. You lost me there. You lost me there. I don't know what the fuck the J is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Jersey was never the J. That's when I knew. So there's a piece of me. There's a piece of me. Number one, it is out of town to an extent, but I can't see nobody in West Orange really saying the J. And again,
But I think he just said it. He's made it his thing.
yeah, but for anybody, kind of what I was alluding to earlier, with OJ running up on him, again, he's not from Jersey to understand. I'm not saying everybody in West Orange is on a certain type of timing, but Essex County at large has a large community of.
But West Orange is different from the rest of them.
I mean, again, it's kind of like, it's very common knowledge that West Orange LA Fitness is a nice little meetup. You know what I'm saying? It's very common knowledge. So with that being said, hey, maybe the culture surrounding the city is comfortable, it's flexible. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't be who you want to be.
But OJ's from New York, the gay capital of America.
And
so
then
he
there's
could
that.
he could
And he was
also he could know better.
He was dressed like Africa Bambaataa slash.
What an interesting.
Ooh, because
choice.
Africa
Bambaataa. There you go.
Wow.
You can. OJ went in there. He played his character. When he saw it was fumble, he started to fumble the ball, and he kept going longer than necessary. And
So that goes back into the Jamaican community, not to cut you, but that goes back into that where sometimes we're talking to, even me in parenting, because this is part of the culture. Sometimes we're talking to someone and fuck that, I don't do this bad. A lot of our Jamaican counterparts, when they're trying to get something across to you, actually this is a large thing right here. This is in Caribbean and African diaspora, right?
I'm dying to know. You're taking a while.
I'm about to land the plane. This is a large thing what I'm about to say. The insult is actually a compliment. This is a large thing, bro. The insult is actually a compliment. Like Nigerians and shit like that, they'd be like, oh, I see your big head, or whatever, however they say it. And it's like, what? Like, you actually criticizing me and making fun of me, but you're trying to say that I'm smart. You're trying to say that I look good, maybe. You're trying to say I got money.
But what he did, he called him a demon.
You call him a demon?
Yes.
Okay, again.
OJ called him and said it's a demon, and he said you're not Black Boy Bati, you're not Black Boy Os.
I didn't know he.
Yeah, he said all that. So he
I
really
stand slightly
he
corrected.
came in heavy. He came in heavy, but again he fumbled it, and he now they're all at Streamer University attacking him, and I don't know. He kind of isolated himself there.
Playboy Bati was funny though. Like, that's funny. No, it's not.
Not on camera.
And that's what Black Boy Max was saying. He was saying,
We'll move away from this soon.
yeah, I think maybe it's the tap out got
Because-
me calling him Playboy. Black Boy Max was saying, bro, you could have hollered at me off camera. And I honestly agree. You could have hollered at him off camera. You didn't have to.
Well, the big issue is, why is there anything to talk about? If you're a good Christian or you're a traditionalist, a key part of that is minding your own business.
Yeah, that actually is important. I get it.
So, you see Black Boy Max, he's starting to be a little bit more effeminate. He's starting to be a little bit more involved in the LGBT community. mind your business. If it's wrong, it'll reveal itself. If it's right, it'll reveal itself. Let everybody be. But back to what we were talking about, why manly things don't sell. Because why would it? It historically never has.
I agree.
Historically, it never has sold. The biggest face in acting, in music, your microphone's covered. In
Sorry.
acting, in music, in dance, there's always been, and if in war, the greatest generals in history, most of them were gay. It's true. So just saying, it takes maybe the genetic component that leads to homosexuality leads to doing really well in those fields. Maybe that's just the case. But
Napoleon was gay?
there were rumors, but
Nah, I actually didn't. I just thought about it when he said that. like,
Frederick the Great,
Alexander.
well, both, because Frederick the Great, the King of Prussia, was gay, and Alexander, yes, Alexander way more than any.
wait, this is a lot.
Yeah.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
Yo, you have to watch the movie Napoleon. And they're not going to tell you. You have to be observant. Because there's some scenes that
All-
happen. There's
all-
some scenes that happen where you're like, I don't see it any other way.
All the
Just that.
Roman emperors, all of them. That's just what it is.
King James.
King James,
Ooh, I didn't want to go there, but we went there.
King James,
King James.
King James.
The one who wrote the King James Version with Shakespeare, who might have actually also been.
But to say that to say that there's this wormhole and power for that.
So it brings it to this, not to cut you, Black, but it brings it to this. It seems like, so there's two things that's happening in this world, and we didn't mean to make this so centric, but hey, man, it makes sense. You know, every time somebody's rich, it's because they got fucked in the ass. Every time somebody is in a position of power, it's because they got fucked in the ass. It's whatever. You had to sell your soul, you had to do this, you had to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody had to do something to get in power. That is the conspiracy that we have. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm not saying it is right. I'm saying that I don't necessarily subscribe to that. But I did notice that, you know, for Jay-Z to be in position, certain things had to happen back in the day. Diddy had a whole trial where all he did was have sex with women and, you know, watch women have sex with men. There was nothing about him being penetrated in this whole shit. You see what I'm saying? There was nothing about him getting no kid, nothing. But this is the idea that we have, the ideology that we have of success. But what I'm saying is to say, it's like we firmly believe that somehow some foul play, quote unquote, had to be involved in a man having some type of success. But it comes from, I guess, the history of a lot of the most powerful men had shit going on that, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't know. Look at Tyler Perry. Oh, well, they got stories. He's getting sued right now by somebody. I don't think Tyler Perry is that sloppy. If he was to play like that, I don't think he would play sloppy.
Probably not.
Yeah, so I don't know. The point is, I don't want to speak up for nobody, but I'm saying, like, there's an insane obsession with you had to get, the only reason you're in success is because you got somebody in your family whacked or somebody close to you got whacked so you could be in success.
Yeah, the sacrifice.
The
stuff.
sacrifice, or you got fucked in the ass. And there's an insane obsession in our community with DL men. Like this whole shit. I don't normally talk about shit like this, but I just really want to get into all of this, bro. There's an insane obsession with if a man is DL or not.
Yeah.
Who gives one fuck?
Well, I think the women care for their safety.
I don't think it's that.
That's
Because the women support them. I saw a situation that happened within the last year where a DL man was put out there and women supported him. I saw women stand with him
they supported him once he was out.
You know about the
once he was out.
You know about the one who's running for governor in Florida, under DeSantis beat?
Oh, I didn't know about that. Somebody's running for governor in Florida? That's,
He was basically, nobody really knew. But back when DeSantis became governor, he was running against this one.
wait, you talking about the guy, he had glasses? He ended up going to jail?
Nah,
No.
skin.
Oh, I'm thinking about the white guy that went to jail and he was DL. I can't
No,
remember
he
his
wasn't
name.
really DL.
Oh,
They just didn't believe it. Like, it was very clear. You're talking about George Santos.
George Santos.
George Santos
Yeah.
was very,
He was a scam.
but he was in New York.
Okay.
He's in New York based.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. He's a.
Yeah. So, but long story short, this guy, that's how he lost the election because he wakes up in a hotel next to somebody, people standing over with cameras.
Yeah.
But see,
Oh, wow.
you know what I'm saying? That was the only way to take him because he had it. But the problem is nobody knew.
What is the problem though at this point? Because again, I don't really. I'm comfortable enough in my skin to say certain shit. You feel what I'm saying? And I could say like, I don't really care what a person's sexuality is. I'm not as invested. I don't give a fuck. I'ma still deal with you according to who you are.
I want to play devil's advocate. I think the reason why is really it's a lot of women who go at the DL men, more than men. And I think the reason why is because there have been women have had cases of dealing with a man, becoming intimate with a man, living with him, having a child with him, and he's stepping out with men. That's a traumatizing experience. Or they're getting abused. A lot of closeted men are abusive. A lot of closeted men are, manipulative. A lot of them, and normal straight men are too. But a lot of closeted men can have those habits, and turns out the root cause was their sexuality. It's different from men who they do what they do, and they keep to themselves. That's a little different. They may not have disclosed it to the whole world, but they do what they do. They keep it to themselves. They don't take it out on other people. The DL men I think that they're obsessed with are the ones that stir up stuff,
I can see that.
that stir up problems for other people.
And that's the thing too with the people that are on the other side of the DL man. And what I've noticed is there's a trend of putting people out there. Like I saw.
Like outing people, you mean?
Yeah, like it's like I don't get it. Like what is, like all right, if you enjoyed an experience with somebody, no matter who the person is, no matter what side of the fence you on, I don't know. I'm just really just walk with me, y'all. Whoever know me, you know me. If you enjoyed an experience with somebody, and it's no longer an experience for you, what did you really get out of outing them as opposed to just, hey, we had our time, we got a disagreement, we're going our separate ways.
Well, they're
it is
trying
what it
to
is.
hurt the person.
What are you trying to? Why do this to hurt me though?
What else would have hurt you? If they're mad at them, what
Why
else?
hurt me?
People hurt each other all the time.
Why do people hurt each other?
What is this?
I'm confused about
What are we-
everybody.
we're going-
I'm even confused. No, seriously, I don't like spiteful anybody.
Humans are spiteful,
I don't like spiteful.
but humans are spiteful.
Not all humans, because I'm not spiteful.
You sure?
I don't want to hurt you.
You're spiteful.
What have I ever done to you? Whoa, hold on.
You could do spiteful things.
To you?
Who said to me? I just said you can do spiteful things. You're not perfect.
I've been spiteful to somebody that you saw?
I think so. There's things you've done I think that were spiteful. I think everyone has the ability to be spiteful.
I don't know,
Nobody is absolved of flaws. So you can do something out of spite, and you think it wasn't out of spite, but that's because you psychoanalyzed it to say it wasn't spiteful.
So I would say this. I'm not going to act like I'm not flawless.
You know how you know you're spiteful? Because you just said you don't do spiteful things. That is a dangerously spiteful statement.
Oh, come on. This is a mind fuck now.
No, it's not. Anybody who's aware of themselves knows that I could do something spiteful. I could do
I didn't say I
something.
can't do something spiteful. I said I don't really. I don't.
Evil people never know they're evil. They never.
Am I evil?
Hitler was very much.
They actually think they're the hero.
Hitler very much thought he was a hero. Joseph Stalin thought he was a hero. They didn't think they were doing anything wrong.
Thanos thought he was a hero.
Thanos thought he was a hero.
There's
It's
people
crazy.
when people decide to shoot someone in a confrontation, they're not in that moment thinking, I want to murder that person. They have come up with some narrative in their head that what they're doing is the appropriate thing to do. It's justice.
Can I be real with you? I don't really believe in. Maybe it's now. I don't know. I don't really believe in beating anybody up. I don't believe in shooting anybody. I I believe in self-defense. I believe in protecting, my interests, the people I love and the people I care about and things of that nature. But when it comes to like just beating on people and shit like that, that's why I don't really have a history of beating on women because, and I say don't really.
Yeah, I was
not
gonna
even
say,
that.
clarify that.
I don't have a history of beating on women because that's never really been my thing. That's never really, what's this really?
I don't know.
That's not my thing.
You're looking bad this
No,
time.
hear me out.
You're looking bad.
I've been, thanks for telling me.
You're looking bad. I'm not as, I wouldn't do anything spiteful. This is, who are you trying to convince?
I don't know, me?
I guess.
I don't hit women. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
That's good.
I'm a protector and a provider.
Yeah.
And that's all I was trying to say. I'm gonna just move away from the topic because obviously,
You're drowning.
don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
So, Black Boy Max, man, our well wishes are with you. OJ, listen, my well wishes are with you too. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Mine
as-
or not.
I'm gonna tell you why mine are, and
I
you
just
can
wanted
explain
to
yours.
announce that.
I'm gonna tell you why mine are, and you can share yours if you want. But mine are with him because, again, he's a Jamaican man. I know how it is to come from the culture. I know what we were taught. I know what we were shown. I understand that, and I'm quite sure he comes from a certain type of denominational family, because I could tell by his missionary work in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Missionary.
So listen, there's a certain denomination.
You're going,
I know.
yeah.
So there's a certain way that certain people feel like it's a duty to have to come and correct you. And you might not need correction in the moment, but they feel like they have to correct you.
I'm going to interrupt you. The reason why I don't is every reason he just listed. Jamaicans coming from a certain background are ignorant, so you have to combat them with ignorance.
Wait, but
You
be
cannot-
clear on what you mean by ignorant, because again, some people will take offense to that.
Good. Jamaicans, I love Jamaicans, but like
You have to forgive them for they know not what they do. That's what he mean by ignorant.
you have to smite them down, it's like a fly swatter, because if you don't, they don't evolve. He came in with his beliefs and impressed them on Black Boy, who has a way larger audience than him, by the way. You have no business correcting this man. He's bigger than you. But anyways, you come in and you do that arrogantly, ignorantly, and now everyone's attacking you. Are my well wishes with him? No. Shut the fuck up. You are at Streamer University. Go make content, make your money, do what you're supposed to do. Shut up. Nobody invited you to talk. The thing about you people, you Jamaican people, is you talk too much.
But I want to be clear on something, because look, there are different types of Jamaicans.
We're talking about one kind.
Okay, I just want to be clear. There are different types, because I can talk, what I can say about my family is this. I've never heard blood clot, bumble clot, none of that come from
we don't
mom's
have
side.
that. We
From
don't.
mom's side.
No.
From my father's side, I've heard blood clot and all of that come out, and it was like in the more, it wasn't, cursing anybody out for the most part, but I've heard that come out. And then I've heard, different sides of the fence with different things. People have different vernacular, how they speak. There's the uptown, there's the country, so there's a whole bunch of different styles of even being a Jamaican, period, right? So his style, I know for a fact, comes from the foundation of that is the church. Somebody in his family is from the church. I don't know who, I don't know how, but somebody in his family is thoroughly from the church. And it bled to, and I'm not gonna get crazy,
No.
but it bled to how he was raised and how he learned how to understand things and how he learned how to identify people and how he learned how to approach people, which is very intrusive. And I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to go too far.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Again, my father's Jamaican, my mother's American. I grew up in an...
Look at you separating yourself.
I am. I grew up in an American house. From New York.
Look at you separating yourself.
From Manhattan, from Harlem, okay? And You're not meant to be that invasive. You're not meant to get in people's business like
I
that.
thoroughly don't believe
You're not meant to do it.
that is not cool.
I
like,
also come from a family that had dealt with, like when I was a little kid and I would go to Auntie to work at
Yeah.
ARC in Manhattan, there were people there who were gay, trans, whatever, came into it was a drug treatment program. They also were one of the first to open their doors during the AIDS epidemic. They were one of the first to open their doors. So I grew up with a different understanding,
more inclusive.
a little bit more inclusive and a little bit more mind your business. But as a little kid, you see a trans person and you say to Auntie, "What's that?" And she says, "Mind your business. What do you think it is?" Okay. And then you go up to what looks to be a woman but also seems to be a man and you speak like it's a woman. And
How old were you when you encountered your first person like that? Your first person that
Could've been-
you didn't know what they were or who they were, rather.
3 to 4.
Okay. My first time, I may have been. It was later on in life for me. It was like 9, 10, maybe.
Now, after ARC, I didn't see anyone else like that. I just thought that it was a more manly woman or something like that.
And I come from a time where certain things, like certain terms now, I don't even know if I want to say them on camera, were like prominent and dominant. Like,
What, transvestite?
no, so transvestite was one, bull dyke or bull dagger.
Bull dagger.
Bull dagger.
I remember bull dagger.
These were terms, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but just walk with us. We're just speaking on what the
No,
history.
we're exposing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we're exposing. Bull dagger, bull dyke, I don't even remember anymore. The F word, the other F word. You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember bull dyke. I remember that.
I saw somebody the other day. I'm sorry, I had to cut you real quick. There's a dance in Patterson called the fag, okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. And I saw somebody post it, and when he posted the other day, he was like, yo, who's the one who started the fag? And I was like, wow, I don't think right now, and he's not a public figure, but he's a DJ, and this is my guy. And I didn't want to say anything. I don't think right now that's a good term to use now. You gotta you gotta really sit down and do one of these and give the understanding of what made us say that. Because it's a dance that everybody used to do called the fag. And it's like, bro.
Well, it's just like nigger. You have communities, plenty of people still use, not nigger. There are people who, when there are no black people around, are speaking of niggers.
the hardy R.
Yes, that's how they are going to discuss black people in our absence. Or, every once in a while, right in your face. And however that makes you feel, maybe you could apply that to how a gay person might feel as a black person.
I don't know if gay people. I need somebody who's on that side of the fence to explain to me, when did fag or faggot become derogatory? Because I didn't even know that became a thing until I started seeing people say it in settings
Well,
with
you think-
cameras, and they started feeling uncomfortable. Like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't say that.
You have to go
The
back
F
to
word.
you have to go back to where the word faggot comes from. It comes from England, of course.
Ooh, there's something I wanted to ask you about.
It comes not the cigarette, not that.
No, I wanted to ask you something
Not
else.
you. Shh. It comes from the boarding schools in England. They would have what's called a fag master. The fag master was, for example, if it was high school, a senior boy. And the senior boy would then have fags. The fags were freshmen, almost like how we have pledges now in a fraternity. And they were tasked with all kinds of things, for approval, for this, for privileges, for whatever, by the fag master. And there was sexual abuse from the fag master on those boys. And so you got fagged.
Oh.
Yes. That it comes from that. That's where the words are.
And
then
of course, we
became,
come from English culture in
and
America.
then it became the cigarette is a fag. But what do? You smoke the fag.
Yeah.
You fagged it, just
Yeah.
like when you fagged a person.
Okay.
It's a dominance thing. It's a like everything. It goes back to something horrible, and then it became used for. Then the word fag evolved into meaning a gay man, and yeah, So it has a dark history behind it. So using it, gay people use it all the time, but using it in an offensive or derogatory way, just like nigger. They didn't just invent the slur one day. It's because Niger, the river Niger. So that's West Africa, right off the river Niger. They took that and they said, oh, this is a Niger, nigger, Negro, whatever. It evolved. And then it became one, at some point, the way it was used, the way it was weaponized, it became a painful word. The same thing is to be said for fag.
And the fact that it all blended in with even, again, we had Spanish colonization. Ooh,
Colonization.
colonization at certain points. So even with the word Negro being black, it all blended in with that as well. You see what I'm saying? But what I wanted to ask you about was the foundation or the origins of Buckingham.
Oh,
Since we're doing history lessons,
well, you had
Bucking.
the man who wrote the King James Bible, well, who commissioned what happened was King James the first and the sixth. That's what he was. He was the first of England and the sixth of Scotland at the same time. And he commissioned a translation of the Bible because at this point they had established the Church of England under Henry VIII, and they're trying to move away from the Latin and all this stuff. And,
Yeah.
So they translated it, and what you meant by Buckingham, you meant by buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bucking a man used to be a thing back in slavery times.
Yes,
And
that's from the King James's boyfriend was.
I want to pause right there. Whose boyfriend?
King James' boyfriend.
Is this the same King James who wrote the Bible?
Yes.
Okay.
King James, who commissioned the Bible, was very much a homosexual.
Okay.
And he had a very homosexual relationship with the Duke of Buckingham. Well, he gave him that title, by the way, but he was the Duke of Buckingham. And he also bought Buckingham House. Was it him who bought it first? I think it was he bought it. No, that's way too far back. No, the area that became Buckingham Palace had something to do with the Duke of Buckingham at the time. That's why you have Buckingham Palace. There was like a house or something there where the Duke of Buckingham was, and that evolved into Buckingham Palace. And so, yeah, Buckingham Palace is named after a gay man too. You'll find a long list of things connected to a gay man.
It is crazy.
You should
when you really think about it, it's crazy, man.
You should really reevaluate some of your feelings, if you have any.
And the reason why we got into all of this was Black Boy Max.
Black Boy Max, yeah.
Seeing his reaction, seeing OJ's reaction, and knowing our connections and looking at it from...
Well, Black Boy's from New Jersey. OJ's Jamaican and from New York. We can understand what happened there.
You can understand?
We can understand what happened there.
Yeah.
But the hatred that people have for gay people, it's a little weird. It gets weird. It gets a little weird.
Yeah, I personally really don't give a fuck.
Not being comfortable with, like, if you are a man who's not going to twerk, then do not twerk.
And you only got to comment on somebody
But don't
that is.
mind
Yeah.
the man who wants to twerk.
Yeah, that's his fucking
Mind your business.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
And I say this as an old man, who obviously I have children. This is my child. And I really, if I was in a position where, I was approached by if one of my kids was twerking, what I'm gonna really do? Disown them?
Some people might,
You still my son at the end of the day, or you still my. So it's like I really don't give a fuck. So when it comes to other men, I truly don't give a fuck because you're not my child.
Yeah, you
You
should.
know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't be so disturbed by it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you need to do it. Just live your life. You don't twerk.
And to be clear, we're not promoting that you should,
Yeah.
because that's another thing.
Like I just said, you don't twerk.
That's another thing. The reason why we're having this conversation is I'm not comfortable with the agenda at times. There's an agenda being pushed. And I'm going to say this about Black Boy Max. I don't want to kick his back in, but I'm going to be honest. There are some times where I see certain things that he does or says where it feels performative. I don't know if it is or not, but it feels performative. I don't feel that's your authentic representation of what you wanted to get across, but it could be. And who knows? I don't know, because some people react different and some people project differently. I'm just saying, like, to have a platform like you have and to push men should twerk or to push these things, these ideologies, knowing how much power you have, it could feel performative.
Here's a question
Okay.
for the men who may have a feeling about this. Shouldn't the men who have a feeling about the agenda or the whatever, shouldn't they ask why, what have men done to become so unpopular that you have these figures now? What have men done that people have grown up, other men have grown up and they've liked or had an affinity for a feminine way or a gay way or whatever? That
I can tell you my opinion.
Okay.
I can tell you it's two things. It's one, number one, I didn't understand patriarchy until I started really understanding what it was, like far as like how men project that, you know, we control everything. You know what I mean? Like there's no, like it's almost like no semblance of a woman involved in anything other than just have a baby. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I could tell you that's one piece, and then you come into the world and you see that that's not the case. It's like it's way more going on with both men and women, but there's a lot of women who, man, women are like, to me, my opinion, I don't know who agrees it is what it is. This might be a little controversial for you even coming from me. Women are like the closest thing to a representation of God on earth to me. You know, you have kids, you go through, you know, you gotta bleed every month, you gotta go through all these different things. You gotta be there for us when we going through things. You gotta go through your own things. I really have a lot of respect for women, and that could come from the idea or the ideology of patriarchy. But I also believe that a lot of us have left our kids as men in certain positions that made them more reliant on women, and women became the most powerful thing around them to the point where I'm not saying they wanted to be a woman or they wanted to emulate women, but that ended up just happening because I don't even know anything else.
Well, let's dig deeper into that.
Ooh.
You said that sometimes that children, boys, have been left where women were the biggest influence in their life. That's kind of the theme of the black community and the Hispanic community. But I'll speak for the black community, that's kind of the theme. Women have been the most dominant force in the black community. So when you see a generation of young black influencers emulating womanly things, can you be so shocked? I think it's a time for black men alive right now who can have influence right now to reevaluate themselves. Why are you so unlikable? And maybe not unlikable, but like no one's trying to replicate your way. They'd rather replicate their mother. They'd rather replicate their grandmother. They'd rather replicate the gay guys on their phone. That's a hard pill to swallow, because it's the women who are buying the houses. It's the women who they're doing really well in the workforce. The women are getting the degrees. The women are getting the nice cars for good interest rates.
Or not.
Or not, but they have enough money to just pay it.
Yeah.
And the women are taking care of the children. The women are cooking, they're food shopping, they are buying back to school clothes, Christmas, Halloween. Even if you bought it and you sent her the money, were you there for the moment? Those things play a role.
I do believe that well, again, I do believe that. That's kind of what I'm alluding to. Like, I think that in some ways, we're kind of like creating this generation or this era of people not really respecting men as well as we would like to be respected. you know, me and you have quite a few conversations where I feel like I look around at certain things and I don't feel as respected as I would like to feel, or I feel like I deserve. And then I look at certain situations where I could see where it went this way or went that way. And I could see where you wouldn't even think about me in certain ways because I'm not, maybe I'm not living with my child, or maybe I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And it's affects certain things. So I can see that, and I can respect that, and I can receive that. And I think that that's something that, as men and as women and as family and as kids and as everything, we kind of got to dissect and figure out how can we fix that moving forward. I mean, you know, we talk about breaking generation curses all the time, and that's kind of like the goal moving forward. Like, we don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't want that. I don't think it's cool, and I don't think you should think it's cool. But it goes back to Black Boy Max as a foundation. This is, I think, how we got here. I don't know his situation. I don't know his family, but I can say this: if he's leaning so thoroughly into defending certain behaviors, it's making me feel like maybe he didn't have certain men around him. And it's not a criticism. This is a reality. Maybe the men around him weren't behaving in a certain way or operating in a certain way, or maybe they didn't show up in certain ways. I don't know. And on the OJ side, I'm telling you for a fact, patriarchy played a role in that through religion and onto him. That's what I believe. I don't know who in his family is deep in the church, but I can hear it in what he was saying. And again, I'm not even a proponent for certain activities. I don't knock it. I don't criticize it. You know, whatever you into, you into. But I'm not sitting here pushing that agenda. I really don't. I really don't care what time you on when it comes to that. Like, if you're on that type of time, you're on that type of time. But I see where he was coming from when he went with the conversation. I just think that he went too far, number one. And number two, he could have had that off camera. Like, yo, bro, yo, what's good with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, da da da. And then have the response that Black Boy Max wanted to give him off the camera and they could keep it moving. I truly believe that it was just handled the wrong way. And it's indicative of how he grew up. That's what I really believe. Becoming is better, bro. You could become better. You know what I'm saying?
You could become better.
You could have a better understanding. You know what I'm saying? You might not have the right understanding today. You could have a better respect for people. I don't know, bro. I don't knock nobody. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, again, I don't give a fuck what you on. I don't give one fuck. Whatever you're doing is what you're doing. So, do I have opinions? Yes. I'll keep them to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Opinions on what?
What people are doing.
No, you don't have opinions.
I
You're
do.
on camera.
Oh, correct. I don't have any opinions. I really don't care what you're doing.
I say do what you want. I say you have sex with whoever you want. If you wake up tomorrow and you want a football team, that's your business. And if you wake up the next day and you want the cheerleader, that's your business. And that applies to men and women.
So what do we need to do as men, right?
Yes.
To conduct ourselves not only differently but properly. What does a respectable man sound like or look like to you? Because you're the next generation. You're the future.
A respectable man, in my opinion, is loyal, dutiful, and committed. And what does that mean? A respectable man takes care of himself well enough that when it's time for him to take care of somebody else, it's a smooth transition. As smooth as it can be. A respectable man educates himself, grooms himself, takes care of himself emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically. That's respectable to me. And he's dedicated towards the bigger picture. He could think in decades, not just in short bursts. So that to me is respectable. I think so.
Does he plan a parenthood?
He plans a parenthood.
What does that mean?
That means that you don't just stay with the woman because she's attractive. You stay with her because there's something more to her. That's what I think. Also, we're speaking about manhood. So you pick your partner, plural, however that may go, with the right mind, not just off of lust. Gay men can profit off from that conversation too. If you're going to pick another man, pick a good one. If you're straight, you're going to pick a woman, pick a good one. Because you deserve it. I think a respectable man knows what he deserves. And he assures that he gets what he deserves out of himself and then out of other people. That's what I think. I don't know.
I think that I'm in line with what you're saying.
You take care of yourself first.
I'm in line with what you're saying.
At my age, at 18, 20, I'm 21, 18 to 21 to 25, let's just say that window. Your priority is taking care of yourself.
There's something in the medical field, as you know, in the medical transportation field. BSI seems safe.
BSI seems safe.
So
yeah.
you're making sure that I first and my partner second are safe. There's no hazards for us, and we'll make sure that we can do our job after that. So what happens is when an ambulance shows up to a scene, you may not notice, they're making sure that I and my partner is safe first, and then we tend to the person who has the ailment. You know what I'm saying? BSI seems safe.
The safety of yourself, the EMT or whatever you are,
It's priority.
is the first priority. And that, I think, applies to life. The safety of your money, the safety of your health, the safety of your mental health. That is most important, because it's like if you have anything, you have a car, if you have a house, if you have a camera, if you have a tool, you must maintain that. If you don't maintain it, you've neglected it, and now it's of no use to anybody, including yourself. The same thing goes for you. You have to maintain you. You have to take care of your diet. You have to take care of your. If you're having panic and anxiety attacks, address it. If you're hearing voices, address it. That's taking care of you. And once you take care of you, first and foremost, I think that makes you respectful. Like, I admire, for me, when I see someone taking care of themselves and how well they take care of themselves, I admire it because it shows me what they would do for someone else.
Mm.
It shows me what their standard is for someone else. Yeah. So when they're married or when they have children, I could look at them and I could say, I believe he will uphold a certain standard for them. When you don't take care of yourself, when you're reckless, I don't want nothing to do with you because you're dangerous.
And we're speaking about men because, again, we just talked about patriarchy and things of that nature, and we talked about how women are now like what some men want to be. You know what I'm saying? Or you said men are ugly, to use that.
Men are ugly.
When you say that, you're saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I really get out of aspiring to be so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so? So with that being said, that's why we dig so deep into what is the respectable man. I don't want to make it seem like we're taking women out of the equation. We love you. But we're just saying, this is what's important, because we need to get back to that. You know what I mean? Like, and the only way to do that is to acknowledge. You can't solve a problem until you acknowledge the problem. You can't get rid of the demon that controls your fibers until you realize who that demon is. You acknowledge it and you say, okay, I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I use demon loosely. That's just the best. Yeah.
Yeah, but women are definitely a major part of it. But again, it's whenever you know that Marines who have actually served, like were deployed, Marines who are under a lot of stress and a lot of fear, they have a higher rate of having daughters as opposed to sons, because the theory is that women are more resilient to stressful environments than men. I happen to believe that's true. I happen to believe that that's true. Women under in intensely stressful situations outperform men all the time. Whether it's academic attainment, whether it's income, they always manage to do better than men. I'm not saying there's none that don't do well, but even the ones you take, you go to some broken family, it's usually the women who end up having access to more things than the men.
It's a slippery slope too because so it's a slippery slope because it's like, all right, I look at some families that are mostly women, and the women are doing pretty good. They're doing decent. However, I think it does hamper because it needs to be balanced. Is what I'm trying to say. Like there needs to be balance. And at the end of the day, like nature created balance. This is spooky because it goes back to the conversation we just had, and it's kind of like I'm not questioning people's sexuality or anything like that, but I'm saying there should be a balance in terms of men and women in your family. There should be a balance in terms of relationships and understanding of relationships. There should be a balance in terms of everything. You know, again, being fruitful and multiplying and things of that nature. There needs to be a balance in terms of marriages and the like in a family. And when you look at families that are predominantly women, there's a certain level of aggression that comes out of the women in that family. Like they're really aggressive. Like a lot of women in families that are predominantly women or single mothers or women that aren't married, women who, and they're growing up like that. I've seen a lot of aggression.
And they're aggressive towards who? And
Towards men.
because usually those mothers are single due to the failure of a man.
But not only that, I'm saying that before they even became the mother, I've seen a lot of aggression in these women.
But who were their fathers?
And then there's that. So I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying that when you look at these families, I'm just saying there's like a certain level of aggression. And what I'm saying is the circle must be broken,
Yes.
no matter how we look at it. We need women to acknowledge where they are in the family and where the family is. We need men to acknowledge where they are in the family and where the family, you know what I'm saying? We need everybody, we need balance. We need balance. I don't give a fuck what type of time you on, what side you on, what you dealing with sexually, all that shit. You still need balance in your family. I thoroughly believe that there has to be some type of like balance. Everything in life has balance, whether we're talking about nature, everything. There's no me and you sitting here right now without balance. The perfect amount of oxygen in the air for us to be able to breathe and the like.
I agree.
You're yawning now because maybe there's an oxygen
I've
deficiency.
yawned. No, I've yawned like.
No, maybe there's an oxygen
4
deficiency.
times.
You have. You've been horrible today.
I haven't been horrible.
Well, I made you wait too long.
We waited too long. I
made you
told
wait too
you.
long?
I said the clock was ticking.
Why do you have a clock?
Because I actually go to bed at a healthy
Because you
time.
grew up in your house with women.
I go up in a house with women and I go to bed at a healthy time because I take care of
Bitch ass
myself.
nigga.
I take care of myself. I used to stay up late. Now I don't stay up late. Why? Because I'm a man. And I need to go to bed. And why do I need to go to bed? Because if I wake up in the morning and I'm tired, I may shoot the first person I see. Oh, see? Look. Just deft everyone. But yeah, I go to bed. And I like to watch what I eat.
I don't really sleep well. I work at 4 in the morning, typically Monday, Wednesday, or Monday and Friday now. And like right now, it's 6:25. Ooh, now I'm yawning. I'm probably not gonna go to sleep till like 10, 11, and then wake up and go to work at 4. You know what I'm saying? At like 3 o'clock. So I barely get adequate
And
sleep.
he and I disagree on work-life balance as it is.
Well, my work-life
My
balance.
father looks at,
I look at money.
he looks at the money. So I look at my money that I earn at work and I say, okay, I have enough to do these things. And then here's what's left over. My father says, well, if you worked at 4 a.m. like him, you would have this much.
To do a little more.
And it's like, why?
Even if you did it for a month.
And I said, why would I want to do any more? I don't need any more. I have a car. I have insurance.
I feel like you don't know what you need.
I have
feel
no,
like
but
you-
I have a car that I bought. I have insurance that I pay for. My credit cards are paid on time. Huh?
I feel like you don't know what you need at this point. You know?
I go shop. I go out with my friends. Why would I spend more time in that ambulance feeling icky?
This is a whole nother episode. And I feel like we come to a point.
I guess so.
So I'm going to end it.
Yeah, so then the next time we'll talk about work-life balance.
Yeah. So we got a little deep today. Hope you enjoyed it. Pause.
Why'd you say pause?
I don't know. It just didn't feel comfortable.
We talked about gay stuff, and now you want to say pause
It just,
all the time.
I don't know, man. It just-
Relax. Yo, man, this is what's wrong with us. We can't talk about anything. We get all sensitive and icky. You talk about gay stuff. A penis doesn't appear because we talked about gay stuff.
Becoming is better. All right?
Yes, becoming is better.